Good afternoon, students. We have seen the various syllabus and the topics under the botany for first year up to the NEET examination standards. And we are going to start yesterday morphology of angiosperms or morphology of angiospermic plant means flowering plant. So here morphology means yesterday we have seen study of form. What is study of form? External form. Morphology. Study of external form and features. So here what is meant by external form? Externally how a plant looks, appears. Externally a plant looks means based upon the size, based upon the shape, based upon its characters. Character here, features means structure and relative position of various plant parts, here plant organs like root, stem, leaf, flower, fruit and seeds. Six characteristic features. So here morphology of flowering plants or morphology of angiospermic plant means what you are going to study in morphology. You are going to study in morphology means external form of each and every particular plant. So what is its size, shape, nature, everything, and features of, what are the features means here? Structure and relative positions of. Features means characteristic features. In this plant, how leaves are there, branches are there, how flowers are attached, where flowers are found, what type of inflorescence it is having, what is the position of the branches at the base of the stem or somewhere away from the stem. How? So all these are called structure and relative positions of various plant parts which are called plant organs, like in a particular plant how its root is, how its root system is, how its stem or shoot system, how it is having leaves, how they were arranged. Flower, what is flower? Whether all the plants are having same flower or different flowers. Color, size, number of parts in a flower, calyx, corolla, androecium. Fruit, how many types of fruits are there? And the seeds. To study all about these is called morphology. So we have to study everything regarding the roots of the plant, angiospermic plant, regarding the stem, regarding the leaf, flower, fruit and seeds. Now, so study of external form and features of plant parts. Simply, study of external form and features of plant parts, various plant parts. Generally, angiospermic plant body consists of an axis which is called central axis. So central axis of the plant body, make a note of this. Compulsorily various forms of definitions in the form of sentences they can ask. So in various forms we can view to understand about how different plants are having their root systems, how different plants are having stem. Next, central axis here, for example, this is a central axis in the angiospermic plant or flowering plant. This central axis is fundamentally divided into two parts based upon its position with reference to the soil. This is the soil. Surface of the soil, the part of the central axis below the soil is called root system. Root, and it consists of so many branches, so many things. Total comprises root system, which is below the soil, under the soil. Various below the soil, the part of the axis present below the ground is called root system, and the part of the axis which is present above the ground, the part of the axis which is present above the ground is called shoot system. Above the ground. So when a question comes like this, an angiospermic plant body or a flowering plant's plant body is divided into two fundamental parts, that is root system and shoot system, based on the position of the root and shoot, or root and shoot was made into two different types based upon their presence in the soil with reference to the surface of the, above the surface of the soil, below the surface of the soil. Shoot system consists of lateral appendages like leaves, branches, and the branches also leaves, flowers, fruits, seeds. So total is called shoot system. Shoot system. Above the soil, below the soil. Two fundamental parts. To understand the morphology, my dear students, whatever you have studied already, you might have known this. Even though we have to teach and we have to learn some other new things. Now, when question comes, when angiospermic plant body is divided into two parts like root system and shoot system, what is the purpose of these? Generally, root system anchors the soil, fix firmly. It is not loosely attached. It is growing deeper into the soil layers, by producing its branches, which are called side roots, lateral roots, secondary roots, or sometimes depends upon the root system, tap root system and fibrous root system. In dicot plants, how it is there, we will see in the further coming classes. Generally, So many branches are there to the main axis. The main axis is called main axis primary root, main axis of the root system. Main axis is called primary root. It produces branches which are called secondary roots. Secondary roots. These secondary roots are at the lateral side of the primary. They are called lateral roots. Again, in turn, these late secondary roots, they produce tertiary roots. These tertiary roots produce rootlets. So, like a network, primary root, secondary root, tertiary root, and rootlets. Like a network, the total roots present below the ground soil, inside the soil, are called root system, rootlets. In the beginning, this primary root consists of root hairs. Then goes on developing. Root hairs are short-lived. When a plant becomes a tree, rootlets may not be seen. In the beginning, they are responsible for absorption of water. Now, primary root, secondary root, tertiary root. So, all this togetherly forms a system which is called root system. The function of root system. Function. It is to fix the soil, fix the plant to the soil. First character. To fix the plant body to the soil. So, support giving, anchor, to absorb water and dissolved minerals in the water. Dissolved minerals from the soil along with water. So, the function of a root system is to absorb the water. When it is absorbing the water, along with the water, it is able to take the nutrients, which are called mineral nutrients, which are essential for the growth of the plant. And successfully, it will send this from here above the soil, that is called shoot system. So, the functions of root is to penetrate the soil, to fix the plant body to the soil, to give support, and it is going to absorb the water which is necessary for its growth. Along with the water, it is responsible to take the minerals from the soil. So, the functions of root in general. Now, shoot system. When we have seen shoot system, this shoot system consists of a main axis. Main axis of the shoot system is called stem, shoot system. Make a note. Primary root, secondary root. I am going to wipe out it. Shoot system. Main axis of the shoot system is called stem. Main axis of the shoot system is called stem. To this stem, lateral appendages. Appendages means organs. So here to the main axis, primary, lateral appendages are there which are called secondary. Again they were having tertiary like that. Appendages here means organ structures. To the stem, what is stem? Stem is the main axis of the shoot system. This one. It consists of so many lateral means side appendages. Lateral appendages are parts called leaves. Again, stem constitutes branches. Again, they will produce flowers in the form of bunches or single flower. If flowers are in the form of bunch, we used to call inflorescence. If single flowers are there, solitary flowers. Solitary individual flowers. Once flower becomes mature, undergoes reproduction, forms fruits, and in the fruit, the most important concept of the angiospermic plant is inside the fruit seeds are present. Whereas you might have noticed it in gymnosperms, fruits are not there, only seeds are there. They are called naked seeded plants, gymnos. Here angiosperms or seeds are covered by fruits. So inside the fruit, seeds. Here question comes, what is the shoot system? Shoot system consists of, shoot system is the name given to the part of the plant body which is above the ground, which is into the air, aerial, underground. So it is growing into the air. What it consists of? It consists of various appendages called leaves. What are these leaves? Leaves are the photosynthetic structures. They are the main structures, chief organs for photosynthesis, which will prepare food material. And in turn, they may get branches. On the branches also leaves may be present. So leaves are present both on the stem and branches, depends upon different plant, different positions. So study of morphology means relative positions of these plant parts. Whether in all the plants leaves are present on the stem or not. If not, what are those plants? In which plants leaves are present only on the branches? So these are all the things which we are going to come across in the competitive examinations. Depends upon the mindset, understanding of the student. Stem, branches, leaves, flowers, fruits, all this shoot system. Here, what is the function of the stem? What is the function of the shoot system? Stem function, whatever absorbed water from the roots, it will conduct the water. Functions of the stem. Conduction of water and minerals to every leaf present in the corners of the plant, wherever it is. If leaves are there here, it has to supply water to each and every leaf. This process is called conduction of water and minerals to each and every corner of the plant body. So it will take, the process of taking the water from the root is called conduction. The main channels of conduction here are xylem. With the help of xylem, water and minerals will reach to each and every leaf. So it is for conduction of water. It gives support, mechanical support to the leaves to expose properly to the sunlight. So mechanical support to the leaves are gives strengthening. Mechanically leaves are strengthened, and it is that stem organ main axis which will make the leaf perfectly. Every leaf has to get sunlight, even though petiole is responsible for that, but generally stem is responsible for the proper exposure of leaf to the sunlight. Helps in mechanical support to the leaves. What is meant by mechanical support to the leaves here? Leaves has to properly expose it to the sun. Unless they are not exposed, they cannot get sunlight and they cannot prepare food material. And when leaves are exposed to the sunlight by the water and mineral elements, every leaf prepares food material. Leaf prepares food, maybe in the form of glucose, starch or sucrose. That food is found in every leaf. Food, 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 food. For example, this is a plant which is having branches and leaves here. And when root is capable of absorbing the water and passing the water, stem is capable to take the water to each and every leaf. For example, I am showing in the figure 2 leaves. The movement of water and minerals by xylem in one direction from the base to the top. So it will supply all the leaves. After that, it will prepare food material. For example, food prepared. Now, other structures are there in the body of the plant to carry from the point of manufacture of food to various other parts like root system. Food transported through phloem. Phloem is that channel, a tube-like circulatory system where the food material which is produced enters into the phloem and it will reach to the place of the root where it can be stored. It can be utilized, some amount can be utilized, some amount can be stored. And storage of food. Again, whenever this plant is showing another leaf, for example, a leaf is produced, in small leaf is here, young leaf. For the formation of young leaf, it needs food material, it needs energy. So the stored food again will be supplied through the phloem. Phloem. Or it can be supplied from here to here. or if any leaf. So it means the direction of movement of water and minerals is always unidirectional, one direction, through the xylem, from roots to the stem to the branches and leaves. Whereas after the synthesis of food, the synthesized food from its point of synthesis, it will reach to other plants, because every part it requires food material to get energy by respiration to perform its activities, metabolic activities, growth and development. So the movement of food materials is multi-directional or bidirectional. It may move like this from here. It will come here one direction. From here again it will go this. Or if any leaf is going to form here, for example, if any new leaf is coming here, new leaf, it will supply the food from here or here. So bidirectional movement of food material through phloem. So it is responsible to give mechanical support, conduction of water, transportation of or translocation of food from the point of synthesis where food is synthesized, leaves. From the leaves, food is supplied to other areas where it is required or where it can be stored. So question comes, from the leaves, food can be supplied to option 1, option 2, option 3, option 4. It will supply to the roots where it can be stored, or it can be again resupplied to a new leaf, or food can be supplied to a fruit. Where food can be supplied to the fruit, it can be stored in the fruit. What happens? We will eat that fruit. Animals or human beings, we will eat that fruit. So the process, translocation of food from the point of synthesis to the place where it is required. Generally to the roots, to the storage organs, fruits, or newly formed leaves, etc., etc. So my dear students, what I mean to say here is, we have already studied about the parts of the plant from the school, high school sections, 6th to 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. The requirement here is the surface of the lesson, NCERT, along with all other possible characteristic features which likely to be appear in the examinations, in national level examination, state level examination like CET or NEET or AIMS or JIPMER. It is compulsory. A student should be, from the first day, from the beginning, the attention of the student, attitude of the student should be perfectly made. All of a sudden we cannot sit to watch for about 1 hour or 45 minutes. We have to create that. So my attempt of teaching all these things is, a student has to understand. Basically, a plant consists of root and shoot, and other characteristic features of root and shoot we will see in the coming classes when we are going to study the root and shoot. But now, morphology of flowering plants. A flowering plant is made up of 2 parts, root system and shoot system consists of these. Functions are fixation, conduction, supply of the food material. Now, to understand morphology in a systematic way, angiospermic plants are classified based upon various criteria. We are not teaching biological classification. We are teaching which is not incorporated in the textbook, but it is required. In the NCERT textbook, they have not incorporated, they have not added. but it is compulsory for every student who is seeking biology classes. Morphology of flowering plants. Before we are going to study the root and shoot in detail, we have to study the classification of plants and the criteria for classification. Classification of flowering plants. It is of various types based on different criteria, taking into parameters, different parameters taking into consideration. First one is classification of flowering plants based upon their habit. First question comes here, HABIT, habit. Based on their habit. What is meant by habit? What is the definition or meaning of habit? What does it indicates? Habit means form of plant. Habit means form of the plant or appearance of the plant form of the plant or appearance of the plant in terms of size and nature. Nature here means arrangement of various parts in the plants, especially branches. Here, based on their habit, HABIT, it is a technical term. So like this, terms will be there, some hundreds of terms will come, you have to practice them. Habit means form. Form means appearance, externally how a plant looks. When you saw a plant, how does plant is based upon, if it is a small plant, a medium plant or a large tree. So this is called appearance or external appearance in terms of its size and nature. Classification of flowering plants based on their habit into three categories, three types. First one, herbs, HERBS. Again, it is not English, botanical terminology, scientific terminology. Herb. Herb is the name given to small plants where they are not having solid trunk, woody trunk. They are soft, short, delicate, green stem is present in these plants. Herbs, small plants, short, delicate, green, soft stem, no woody nature, no profuse branching. Profuse means more, completely no profuse branching, simple plants. Small plants, short, delicate, green, soft stem. No woody means they are not like wood, they were soft. Full branching is not there, completely like a bush. Small, which are nothing but wheat, rice, mustard, wheat, rice, mustard, leafy vegetables, spinach, tomato, potato, all these plants. Herbs, second category of plants, shrubs. Shrubs are bushy plants, bushy appearance. We will see why it is bushy. Woody nature, but no clear trunk like a tree. They were having woody nature, they were not soft, woody nature, but clear cut trunk is not there like a tree. No clear cut trunk. They develop branches from the base of the stem. It means just from the surface of the soil, branches will be there. It means how to understand, see this. This is a plant stem. We don't know what is there inside. Inside root is there. Okay. Just ground of the above the base of the stem or above the ground just means from here it forms branches and appears like a bush. So branching is from the base, from the ground level or base of the stem. Because the branching is from the base of the stem, they appear like bush. So why shrubs are bushy in nature? Based upon the arrangement of their branches from the base of the stem or just above the soil. Hibiscus rosa sinensis, China rose, hibiscus, China rose, examples. Rose, rose plant is a shrub. Duranta. So in olden days, when we used to teach, student activity has to be furnished here. We used to ask, identify the shrubs or herbs which are present in your localities, and as a student activity, student after their college or during holidays, during Sundays, they used to search for various names of herbs, various shrubs, vernacular, normal names, and they used to ask what are the botanical names of these plants in those days. Nowadays, such activities are not there. So, shrubs, Duranta, Duranta, Rose, hibiscus, Hibiscus. Shrubs are those bushy. So here the size of the herb is small, size of the shrub is medium, bush-like. Third one, trees. These are stout, hard, woody, with a perfect trunk. Trees are stout, hard, woody, 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 with a perfect trunk. Trunk means this. So here, how to identify whether it is a tree or shrub not only based upon its size, but the branching of the, for example, this is a tree, we don't know what is there inside. Tree is here. Here, the branches develop after certain height, starting from the ground. Branches develop not at the ground level like shrubs. Branches will form after some height, which make it. So the distance between branches in the shrubs and trees is different based upon this. But we have mentioned classification of flowering plants based on their habit, that is form, appearance or size, small, medium, large, and the size of the plants can be determined by the position of their branches in the place from where branches arise. Here less branches, here more branches. So my dear students, how they will ask questions? In various dimensions. Trees are those perfect trunk, generally hard, for example, mango, neem, what we call banyan tree, Mangifera indica, Agediracta indica, Ficus bengalensis. These are the terms. These are the names, botanical names. So I am not going to give you now, but in the coming classes we will definitely practice. Here, trees are again classified based upon the arrangement of leaves and presence and absence of branches. Trees are again classified based upon arrangement of leaves and classification of trees into three. We will see. Caudex, tomorrow we will explain. C-A-U-D-E-X, caudex. Excurrent. Deliquescent or decurrent. Again I will explain tomorrow. Caudex, C-A-U-D-E-X, or columnar or palm-like. Excurrent, conical, cone-like. Decurrent, dome-shaped. So generally most of the trees we appear here are decurrent. Some trees, when we see in the diagrams, they appear like cones, Pinus conifers. Generally caudex means fan palm tree and date palm trees are called caudex. We will see tomorrow. So my dear students, today's class, when you listen, again we will teach this root and shoot in a different angle in the coming classes. Only thing is, are you in a position to identify the class? Are you able to listen the class purely, accurately, without any disturbance? If I ask questions tomorrow, if I prepare a question paper tomorrow or within 1 week, can you answer that? So these are the questions in front of you. All the best.